afternoon, listeners. This is Toll Jam. That's Toll, not TOE. Welcome back to Eastern Sound in Eastern Connecticut State University, WECS 90.1 FM. I'm coming back to you with some good old. My name is Bruce Quito. I am a senior here at Eastern Connecticut State University. I study communications, film, and theater with a focus on video and film production. The radio show I run is called Eastern Sound. Eastern Sound has been running since spring 2025. Eastern Sound broadcasts Japanese music, primarily Japanese music. And I play stuff like J-rock, J-pop, popular songs from like anime. I play Vocaloid too. So Toll Jam is my radio name. I just used it just for fun. Like, I'm not really that serious about it. I like to spell it out when I'm doing my intros because like it sounds like Toe Jam, but it's like Toll Jam, like Toll. And where I got it from is from a combination of two words. So there's Toll and there's Jam, right? And Eastern has like a bell that like kind of like rings like in the background or like rings like every like hour or something. And then Jam is like jamming. You're jamming out to music and stuff like that. So I just combined it so Toll Jam, right? Originally, Eastern Sound was more like of a joke thing. When I was walking in the com building, like it was like in spring 2025, I saw the sign that said "Radio Host Wanted." I shot a photo of the sign, and I texted my friend like, "Hey, would it be funny if like I got my own radio show?" And then she said like, "Well, what would it be?" And I said, "What if I had like a show that played like anime songs or something?" She's like, "All right, do it." And I said, well, if you make a flyer, I'll do it. I didn't think she would make a flyer. She made a flyer, and it looks pretty good. And I didn't want that to go to waste. So I contacted Jay-Z, and we got my show running. So with Eastern Sound, I had to make a Spotify playlist. Previously, it was like a 12 song playlist, but now that the show is 2 hours long, it's a 24 song playlist typically. I try to make the playlist at least like an hour and 30 minutes long, sometimes a little over, sometimes a little under. When I select the songs, I had to do half like regular Japanese songs, half anime openings, and then the other half Vocaloid songs, so that's what I usually like to do. I like to do like the first hour Japanese songs and the second hour Vocaloid songs. If you want to listen to like just regular Japanese songs, then you got the first hour. If you're curious about the second half, you got the second hour. I don't know, like probably 4 or 5 broadcasts ago. I used to write like every single word I wanted to say on like a Google Docs. I had like song analysis like written down word for word, lyric by lyric. I don't do that anymore. I make an outline nowadays about like what I want to talk about, what kind of like shows I watch, what kind of songs I want to talk about. And it's definitely a lot easier. It's gone down to 1 or 2 pages. Another thing that goes into making Eastern Sound is the laptop itself. I bring the laptop in so that I could play the songs from my Spotify onto like the Bluetooth connector over there that connects to like the soundboard here. Another thing that goes into making Eastern Sound is recording. So what I do is that right before I leave for school, I turn on my computer at home and I run OBS. I open up WECS website. I hit the play button and let the radio show play, and then I record on OBS, and then I go about my business. So I drive an hour to here, do my show, so that way like OBS is capturing my show as it's going on. I come home like pretty late during these days, so when I get home, I have like a 7 or 10 hour recording that I have to cut down for my show. And then I upload like those shows to YouTube. Typically I have like the songs like in the descriptions itself. All now when it comes to like putting the show together, I make a playlist, I make the script or outline, I record it from home, I come here, do the show, do my own thing. Then I go home, I stop the recording, I put it into like DaVinci or Premiere, trim it down to like however long my show is, upload it onto YouTube, and that's it.
I kind of mentioned, I think I mentioned this last week too, but I kind of briefly covered it. I recently finished watching Dungeon Meshi. Now that was a good little anime. So what's Dungeon Meshi about? Well, Dungeon Meshi, or Delicious in Dungeon as is known by his English name, is about an anime where, you eat the monsters that you kill.
At this.
Hold on! You can't put those in!
Why not?
There's
no way I'm eating that.
But with Dungeon Meshi, that's kind of different because with every monster that they kill, they actually eat it. they turn into food, and I think that's a really, really cool idea. That's definitely something we haven't seen before, I believe. I'm not an expert on this kind of stuff, but watching like the characters like kind of like make the dishes and turn them into something that actually looks good, like these dishes make these monsters look good and edible. It's really, really cool.
It's ready.
So Vocaloid is a Japanese program. It's a Japanese voice software, and it was made by Krypton. Vocaloids with an S. They are these virtual idols. They can be male or female, right? They're these virtual idols. They've been around since like the early 2000s. And what they have are called voice banks. And now these voice banks are pre-recorded like recordings of like the voice providers. So with Hatsune Miku, like you already know what her voice sounds like. That was a person. That was an actual person who put their voice into like this program. So what people can do is tune that voice to like create songs and give it lyrics. So that's why like you have like these weird kind of like robotic noises. That's because like that was an actual person providing their voice to like these virtual idols, and that's how like Vocaloids came to be. They are like these virtual idols that people can like make songs with. Here's a fun fact. So the very first Hatsune Miku English song was this Metallica cover. I can't remember the name of the song, but it's up there. It's up there on YouTube somewhere. But within 24 hours of like Hatsune Miku like being released like ever, right? That was the 5th ever song ever made for her, and that was the first song like in English for her, and that was released in less than 24 hours. So it doesn't sound good. I think it was made more of a joke than anything else. But that's just kind of funny to think about, considering like how big she is like in the Vocaloid community. Here on WECS 90.1 FM. I also play like English songs every now and then, not all that much. The reason why I play English songs is because with Vocaloid culture, that's kind of spread like throughout the United States and everywhere in the world. Since Vocaloid is primarily a Japanese-focused thing that was made in Japan, the fact that like it spread throughout the world like this, like a phenomenon, is more important to like recognize that like it's coming to like our own like our own grounds. And I think that's it's pretty important to kind of like showcase the songs that people have made with Vocaloid stuff. I think Eastern Sound was kind of like an excuse for me to do stuff. I think like the whole joke thing wasn't like really like a joke thing. I think it really was just like a way for me to like find a way to actually do stuff on campus, because before that I really didn't do anything. I attended my class and just went home. That's it. So Eastern Sound is kind of like the gateway for me to actually do stuff on campus, because nowadays I do like more stuff like I help out like the theatrical department. I really appreciate Eastern Sound for like kind of like giving me that chance to actually do stuff, because I really did not do anything, and I'm in my senior year, so that's kind of like a bad thing, especially for my major. I'd say I was trying to find a reason to do things. That's what it was. Next semester I hope to get a co-host. I want to kind of like advertise that. I already have like an advertisement out on the window right over there. I think having a co-host would be kind of like a fun thing to have, because like it's just been me mostly. So like I think having like another voice of opinion or something like that about certain songs, about certain anime would be pretty good. To get into like little discussions like that, I think that'd be pretty nice to have. And since this is my last semester, next semester, spring 2026, that's probably when my show's gonna end. So like I want to at least get like the show to like be the best as it could be, for the future. So that way, like when I finally upload like the last broadcast onto YouTube, I can like say like, okay, this was like my best like broadcast I ever had. In terms of closing remarks, I think like years down the line, when I think about this show, I think I'm gonna have mostly good memories. Like it definitely was a lot, like really hard to keep up with it at some points, because I got really busy with schoolwork and stuff like that. But I think like I'm nearing the end, right? Now that I have the YouTube channel, I think once I'm fully done, when I'm fully graduated, I have the YouTube channel always, and like I can look back, listen to some of the broadcasts, laugh a little, cringe a little, kind of like, right? I can look back and I laugh, right? And I can show people too, like my YouTube channel, like what I did, and yeah, I think I could say it was definitely a ride. That's for sure. Yeah, definitely been a blast. It's been a blast. This is definitely a good conversation starter, and it's going to be a conversation starter in the future. That's for sure with my future employers or future people. But yeah, I love this show. I love Eastern Sound.
But anyway, with that is the end of our show for today. If you'd like to listen to previous broadcasts or, maybe today's broadcast, then head on over to youtube.com/@EasternSounds. I will be uploading this later tonight or maybe tomorrow morning. We'll see. This has been Toljam. That's TOLL, not TOE. Signing off on WECS 90.1 FM. I'll see y'all same time, same day next week. Take care.